Iron Maiden. She's about tenor area. A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. And for those who know anything about it, it is Matariki Day. And evidently some people had the day off today. It was a glorious, glorious day in New Zealand because of the anticyclone, no isobars in sight, and just a glorious sunny day, except it started really, really chilly. 10 degrees, it's the lowest we've had so far this year. 10 degrees, so I'm sure those boats that left today, mostly from Whangarei, are really pleased to leave. But it's just absolutely glorious. For a power boat, not so great for those boats that left today that wanted to sail, but anyway, they'll certainly be able to get their sea legs. But just a delightful day at the moment. It is, where did I write it, 16 degrees, about 5 knots from the southwest. It's been like that, although I haven't seen much movement of anything here. 1020, it's down a bit from this morning, and about 10% cloud cover on the horizon. So I don't think there's anybody who will have got into trouble out there today. It's very, very calm and lovely. Right, we've got Iron Maiden, Alula, Kizu, who's in Tonga now, might come up, Rubicon, Narida, and we'll say hello to Bellina, see how the Kingdom of Beverage is going. Just a bit of news, Air Solomon, or whatever they call themselves, are starting a weekly service from Brisbane to Luganville, return service. So if anyone wants to get friends and family to a boat in Vanuatu, that's one way of doing it. As you know, the Vanuatu airline is out of business. And we did today watch the Biden-Trump debate. It was classed or described as a debate between an old man and a con man. Actually, it was really, really sad. President Biden just is going to have to go, and that's all I can say, really. David might say more, but he just spluttered, and it was really, really sad to see. A really nice man doing his best, but boy, sad for Americans to see their president in the state that he was in. We sort of put up with it through the debate, but then he had 2 minutes to sum up, and what a mess. Anyway, I'm sure they'll do something about that. All of the people that commented said he will have to be replaced before November, so we'll just see what happens, but it's going to be a sad thing. All right, let's move on. Oh, there was another question today from Rubicon, I think it was, about Radio New Zealand frequencies. If you like to listen to the radio on watch during the day or night, they do have a Pacific broadcast. The frequencies that you will need, and I'll start from noon, 17675, and you probably are running for a pencil, so this is noon to about 5, 17675, and then from about 5 to 7, this is New Zealand time, well, it's actually UTC time really, 13690, that's 13690, and then sort of through the wee small hours from 7 to 11 and so on, 9700. If you just program these, then you can just flick from one to another and see who's on. You don't really have to worry about the time. And then in the mornings, I won't go the midnight watch, but in the morning, 11725, and then 9 to noon, 15720. So that's in the morning, 11725, and then at 9 o'clock, 15720. If anyone wants me to repeat those later, then I will. Okay, and for some reason I wrote that in the slot I had for Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, I'll start you on a new line. Good evening, Margaret.
Good evening, this is Iron Maiden. How are you doing there?
Oh, it's been an absolutely glorious day. So I took myself off to do a lovely 10k walk in Shakespeare Park. Checked on the sheep that are going to be quite early lambing this year. They always lamb quite early up here because it's so much warmer than a lot of other places. So it was just beautiful looking out. There was a lot of boats out and I wondered where I was for a while. It seemed like every Chinese person in Auckland was out walking. They do like to walk the parks, families and friends and so on. So yeah, it was a glorious day for a walk, and it looks like you've made good progress. Over.
Yes, we have made good progress. We find ourselves with Harbour on our port side, Tuna on our starboard, and we've just gone past Intercom behind us. Over.
Yeah, I saw there was a cruise ship in there. It's a shame you didn't have good functioning propulsion, because you would have been able to get a permit to go in there, I'm sure. But anyway, go ahead with your report. Over.
This is Maiden. We are at 19 degrees 41 minutes south, 169 degrees 52 minutes east. We're averaging about 5 knots on a course of 5 degrees true. We've got a southeasterly of 15 knots, 40% cloud cover. We've got moderate seas, about a 1.5 metre swell, and the barometer is 1013. Over.
Okay, I'll just read that back for David to check. I'm just untangling my microphone cord here. Yeah, I looked on GFS and it looks like you're going to have that all the way. 1941 south, 16952 east, on a course of 005 true towards Port Vila, 5 knots, southeast 15, 40% cloud cover, moderate seas with a 1.5 metre swell, and 1013. I'll just see if he's got any comments, but it does look pretty stable, doesn't it? You're really having a nice second half of your trip. Any comments, the boss? No?
A little bit breezier tomorrow.
Oh, he reckons a little bit breezier tomorrow, so maybe up to 20, but I'm sure that won't affect you too much. Over.
Yeah, no, that should be fine. We're sort of going to aim to sort of be around near Port Vila on Sunday, but probably we're close to and going on Monday. Over.
Yeah, although you can just sort of go, it's a very, very big entrance, so if you want to do that and just, well, just keep that in mind anyway, but it's a super big entrance.
Sunday easterly about 20.
David reckons on Sunday it'll be about easterly 20,
Could be
slightly
east,
backing, but east-southeast, slightly backing from where you are now. So anyway, well, let's see where you are tomorrow, and but you're certainly going to have the wind, very nice sailing for you all. Over.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we'll probably go up to Port Vila near the harbour, just to do a bit of a ticket tour to see what it's like, and then if it's favourable winds, we will top in our sails.
Yeah.
A little bit later on Monday morning.
Yes, David said it will be lighter on Monday morning, based on what he's looking at the moment, so keep that in mind too. All right. Oh, well, have a good night, you guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Now we go to Alula, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, this is Alula. How copy, Patricia?
Ooh, a very nice copy tonight, so that's really good, Jimmy, and hello to Gemma, and I better give you, I had one of your fans call you today, call on you about you today, and before I forget, Patrick wants to know if you are receiving the Garmin messages they're sending. Over.
Yes, we are receiving them, and we did write back, so I am aware that he will be listening to this as well. We will try and send him another message just to make sure that he's getting them over.
Well, he isn't, but that was, what, about an hour or so ago, maybe 2 hours ago. So when did you send it? Because they haven't had anything. Over.
They were sent, one was sent last night. Over.
Oh, well, they're not receiving anything, so give it another go, and we'll see what he picks up. But they certainly hadn't received anything, although, as you know, they are listening to you, and your voice, now that you're a bit further away from us, is coming through loud and clear. So go ahead with your report. Over.
Oh, that's fantastic. Glad he's watching. Okay, so Alula's position is 31 degrees 43 south, 177 degrees 04 east. We're doing about 6 knots on a heading of 05 true. Our wind speed is 10 to 13 knots southwest.
Still southwest.
2 meters from the south. Cloud cover around 80%. And the bar is reading 1010. Over.
Okay, 1010. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at. Yeah, it's a reasonable difference. But you've got a bit of wind, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's go. Alula 3143 south, 17704 east, on a course of 005 true at 6, with 10 to 13 knots from the southwest, 2 meters from the south in terms of swell, 80% cloud cover, 1010 on the bar. I'll just see if David's got anything. Is that going to go a bit south on them? I'll pass the microphone.
I'm checking. Hang on, just.
Hang on, he says. Oh, and by the way, you're expected to catch a good fish. Over.
Yes, always expected to catch big fish from Pat. We have a line out, no luck as of yet, which will be disappointing for him to hear. Over.
Yeah, well, it's early days, isn't it? So, and you wouldn't want it to go off before he gets there. Stand by.
Well, I've got tomorrow looking about 12 to 15 knots, I think. About 12 to 15. Now there is just a little bit of a trough over you, or it will be over you by tomorrow. I'm looking at about lunchtime. Not much to it. There's a quasi-stationary front that's further to the north, but you're not into that yet. So whether or not you will be, hard to say, because it may dissipate or it just may move a little bit further to the north. But apart from that, it looks like pretty good conditions. Nothing to write home about. Over.
Thank you very much. That's fantastic to hear. Sorry, was that the trough was moving to the east, did you say, or northeast? Over?
Well, the trough itself runs from the northwest to the southeast. The clouds are virtually doing the same thing within it. But there are 2 troughs. One is just about over you. The other one is a little bit further to the north, and that's the one that's got a little bit more activity in it. But it looks like that it may be that last one, the one that has activity, may be moving north. It may be beating you, in other words, going faster than you're going. So we'll know more tomorrow where it winds up being in relation to where you are. But in terms of lunchtime, it should be okay. I think maybe just some showers, but that's about all I can see. Nothing violent about them, but we'll see what happens. I'll be anxious to hear what your report actually is. Over.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, we'll leave those 2. Oh, hang on, he's got one more thing. Could you speed it up?
Sorry about that. I may have written this down wrong, but I think you said you had southwest winds. The wind tomorrow should be south-southeast. You may have said that earlier. I just wrote
No,
it down
it was
wrong.
southwest, and I assumed it was going to come back.
Trish says
He's got
southwest.
southwest now.
Okay, well, I think it's slowly going to go south tonight, and then by tomorrow morning, I think you'll be looking at southeast. So we'll see if that happens. Over.
Yes, so you are correct. I did say southwest, but about 5 minutes has swung quite significantly to the southeast. So we are wing and wing at the moment, doing 6.5 knots. So after this, I might have to go and pull the pole down. Over.
Ah, roger that. Oh, well, it's always nice on wing though. It looks so nice, doesn't it? Especially with that only 10 to 15 area of wind. But yep, if that's going to settle into the southeast, you can bring the pole down before it gets too dark. Oh, for those days. Do you have a carbon fibre pole or an aluminum one? Over.
We have an aluminum one on cars on the mast, so it's not too big of a deal to pull down. Over.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, David kept waiting for a carbon fibre one to come at Christmas time, but it never ever did. So we gave up on poling out. All right, we'll clear with Alula and their very good signal, and yep, have a good night. Get everything set up on the new wind direction, so that will be good. Isn't it nice when it actually comes at a civilized time? Okay, let's just see if Kazoo is on frequency. They're in Tonga. Kazoo, over. No, they're probably having a cold one in the bar by now. Okay, let's go to Rubicon, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Rubicon, how copy?
Yeah, good copy, Elizabeth. You're far enough away now for me, and I presume you got those frequencies. They sound the same as they have been for some time. It's just a matter of finding which one they're on. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Maybe we were too close in, but we were able to pick up a couple, but they were just covered with other chatter from other stations leading in. So it seems to have gotten better today, okay?
Yeah, just try if you are on USB, maybe try just changing what you're receiving it on. That might make a difference. Anyway, go ahead. Over.
Roger that. Rubicon is at 3352 south, 17622 east. We're steering the course out for 25 true. We're doing 5.5 knots. The wind speed is about maybe 8 knots for motor sailing direction. East, southeast. Sea state is relatively nice on the calm down. Still a few miles, maybe 2 meters, and about 30% to 50% overcast, okay?
Yeah, that's a good sunny day for you. 3352 south, 17622 east, on a course of 025 true. Motor sailing at 5.5 knots with only 8 knots of east-southeast. Well, at least you've got a bit of wind, I suppose. 2 meters swell left over from that low that's causing such havoc on the east coast, and 30 to 50% cloud cover. So all sounds pretty good, but I don't think there's much joy. I'll pass the microphone, but you know that anticyclone is just not producing much in the way of isobars. Here's David.
No, Trish is correct. And I think tomorrow, at about lunchtime, it looks like southwest, 8 to 10 knots, I think. Could be a little bit higher if you are underneath some cloud. And there is cloud about, so it's possible to get a shower or two, possible for a squall or two as well. But I see nothing very cold in the upper atmosphere in terms of cloud temperature, so the odds of getting a real nasty guy are slim to none. So should be pretty good. Should have a good day of sailing. Over.
Okay, sounds good. And I noticed that this has been a sort of holiday today, so the feed from my Kaio antenna is cutting in and out a little bit, if people that are listening on streaming are wondering. But anyway, good strong copy from Rubicon. So Elizabeth and Matt have got sort of a pleasant night ahead, as long as that swell doesn't make a nuisance of itself. Okay, well, Narida left today. We'll clear with Rubicon and see if Jan is on frequency. Narida, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour Radio, Narida, that's good copy on you, please, over.
Yeah, I've got good copy on you too. Must just be ground plane. I thought it would be a bit difficult tonight. Yeah, I bet you're pleased to have got away, and really a lovely day, even if you're going to have a grizzle about no wind. Over. Yeah, well, ours at the moment is 1020, and it would be a little bit less for you. David, if you can look up Whangarei, I'll have a look myself if he takes the microphone. But it does look as if it is slightly out, but we'll have a look and talk about it tomorrow. Anyway, 35 degrees 40 south, 174 degrees 39 east. 004 true course at 6.1, motor sailing because the wind is about a westerly 8, 40% cloud cover, southeast swell coming from that low 1.5 meters, and 1017 on your bar at the moment. Well, have a good night there. Jan, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody else around you, but no, you've got yourself there. You can go past the poor nights. Please avoid them, and then we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Over.
Her barometer should be similar to you.
Yeah, I'm struggling with you a little bit now. I'm going to turn my one on and see if it's any better. Could you say again?
Yes, can you give me Rubicon latitude for Rubicon? Over.
Oh, roger that. Yeah, they are at 3352 south. They're motor sailing as well because they've only got about 8 knots of east-southeast, but they're over at 17622. So, yep, you're all having a day for the Arabs. Over.
Roger that. Okay, thank you very much. I'll wait and see what David has to say about my pleasure. It'll be on Iraqi airport for the remainder of the week, correct?
Yeah, sorry, I missed what you just said at the end there. But your barometer should be not too much different from what we've got here. So we'll and we are at 1020. So it's the important thing is the change, of course. So don't be too fussed. It might be just a little bit on the low side, but not too much.
The isobars are almost running north.
Yeah,
south.
David just said the isobars are running north south almost, so you'll just be a little bit lower than us, but not 3, I wouldn't imagine. So anyway, all right, have a good night there, Jan, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. I'll just see if Belina from the Kingdom of Beveridge Reef, I bet it was a beautiful day there. Are you on frequency, Benno? Yeah, good copy. It's a little bit, you know, it's a bit of atmospherics tonight, which is taking some people down a bit, but no, good copy, and I bet you had a lovely day, over.
Yeah, good evening, Patricia and David. Yes, we had a beautiful day here, very nice wind, less than 10 knots from east, northeast, or northeast, and yeah, 25 degrees, 80% cloud cover. Yeah, it was a beautiful day with some snorkeling, and yeah, all well on board here in our reef. Over.
Oh well, you still got it to yourselves by the sound of it. So at Beveridge, it's less than 10 knots of east-northeast going northeast, 25 degrees. Well, I tell you what, didn't get above 6, I think it got up to 16 today, but boy, it was a cold start. 80% cloud cover, and yeah, sounds really, really nice. So you just keep enjoying it, over.
We'd like to stay a couple of more days here, and yeah, probably we will head back to Newell, but there's no decision yet. Over.
Yeah, we'll have a look, a bit of an outlook to see what. Well, you make up your mind when you know which way the wind's going to blow, don't you? So that will be pleasant.
Wind's going to back.
Oh, David just said the wind is going to back, so that will give you a bit of a clue as to where you might end up next. All right, we'll clear with Belina at Beveridge. Is there anybody else with anything? Yep, and I see, looking at where Iron Maiden is, that Major Tom is on the way from Tanner, so they may come across there, but I don't think he connects to ground control, so we'll, but you might see him, Margaret, if you're out and about. Okay, this is Gulf Harbour Radio. There's nothing much more from the boss tonight. It's so peaceful in the South Pacific.
Tell Benno that...
Oh, hang on, Benno, there's a message for you. Stand by.
Not much of one, but anyhow, yeah, the wind's going to back a little bit, heading towards northeast maybe Sunday, and then late Sunday it looks like a weak trough is going to go over you, so the beautiful, nice, cloudless skies, I think, will change. So, yeah, you'll get a wash down maybe. Over.
Oh well, yes, they might need an addition to the water maker. Okay, cheers everybody. If anyone wants to use the frequency to make contact with anybody, it's all yours. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, and we're clear.